Hello people, and welcome back to part 37 of Palaven, our vanilla Cities Skylines build. Hope you're having a wonderful day. And it's been a hot minute, a hot week actually, since we've had anything out on the channel. I appreciate you guys' patience and support during a little Christmas hiatus. But we are back with a little pre-Christmas Palaven episode. And I was glancing back over some previous episodes of Palaven this week, and I remember us saying when we first started the city here, right, this is where we started the map, that one day we'll be able to look across from this roundabout and see kind of the small town laid out in front of us with the downtown backdrop behind it, and we finally have that now. It's special, isn't it? Huge fan of this view, huge. Maybe it does give me a clue. But welcome everyone, welcome back to Palaven. And today we are going to be working on finishing Canalaven, because it's been a long time since we started this build, and we finally have the next tile available. So we can actually extend out into the peninsula now, over here, and tidy up this whole area. Because it's a little bit underwhelming at the minute, isn't it? It just kind of ends. Palaven's a little bit messy. Not quite as straight and as perfect as we would like it. Some strange angles going on. So we're going to clean it up. It's going to be clean, it's going to be green. Let's work on finishing Canalaven, shall we? Okay, so we cleared out all the trees here. There was an absolute ton. I'm pretty sure we've just like reclaimed half of Palaven's tree count. There was absolutely loads of them around here. And we can see that the landscape that we've got to work with is super uneven, so we're going to have to terraform here, of course. So we will dive into the world of terraforming. We'll grab level terrain with our largest brush and highest intensity, and we'll level out from where Canalaven currently lies. So just sweeping through with level terrain. And we have too much soil, of course we do. As always. Okay, so dump some of this into Mount Palaven. There we go. Throw it all here, that's fine. Okay. So it's nice and slow. Level out. Nice little area for us to work with today. Tidy up some of these shorelines too. They're a little bit rough around the edges, but we'll see what we can do. I think we're going to keep this ruin in here as well. Got some nice kind of like castle park vibes around here, and just taper off the end. I'm not purposely trying to make this look as phallic as it is actually turning out, but let's call it a happy accident and work with what we've got. And then just tidy up some of these as well. Okay, if we ever need to extend this, we can always terraform that a little further. I guess maybe we can take it a little down here as well. Super. Okay. So let's come and grab our canals, and then we'll start to map out where else we want Canalaven to flow. So I'm going to go for everything but road guideline for right now. And then we'll start out by 50, I think that'll be okay. And then we'll allow the flow of time here and start to map out the rest of it. So I think we're going to have a huge straight piece all the way up here. I think that'll be okay. And then I guess we'll cut across here, right? This will be a nice little place to merge back into the river. As we come into the river, of course, we want to come into the medium canal, so it controls the water flow in and out of the network. I think we'll come back on with our road guideline snapping here, and we'll almost draw in like a little P within the landscape, right? I think that's okay. That's not going to look too bad. Once the water calms down, I think we'll be a little more satisfied with how things are going to pan out here. Okay. So I want to include a unique building within this part of Canalaven, and this is going to be the Ziggurat Garden, which is here. This one. It's a level 4 unique. Okay, so the water starts to calm down. Let's work on reintroducing the metro line that's going to flow in this area. Of course, we're just about clearing the boats there. I think that's going to be okay. And then we'll come on to just that angle. We want to get as close to the canal as we possibly can. Super, that'll be nice. Fantastic. It's going to be so nice to have this metro line finally finished. It's been looking a little bit ugly for a long time. Let's actually prepare this road to come out because this probably will flow in this direction. Let's bring it out to there for right now. We're also going to have a nice little bit of transport height spice up against these high rises here, which will be a welcome addition, I think. I think everyone's going to enjoy that. Again, we'll bring it as far. Oh no, we won't. With a huge scoop on the end of it. Let's fix that, shall we? Let's bring again as close to the canal as it'll allow, and then we'll cross over the water once more, which gives us these neat little bridges. And then I guess we can come with the road guideline, go our curve tool, and just get a nice smooth curve. Maybe even bring it across this side of the canal first, actually, so we get some nice sensible curvature, I think. There we go. I think that'll be okay to flow through the area. Nice little elevated metro through this part of town now. Fantastic, wonderful. Okay, let's work on actually placing the centerpiece. So if we go ahead and grab our 2-lane road with trees, and let's come down. Fantastic, there we go. So this is, I'm pretty sure this is a Green Cities Unique Building. I will kind of double check and confirm for you all on screen, but I'm pretty sure that we get the Ziggurat Garden with Green Cities. So this is obviously like a super residential focused area, so we're going to be wanting some residences around here. So let's start to implement a little bit of a road network to accompany the Ziggurat Garden here. Okay, so I've just been kind of playing with a couple of little road network designs here, and I'm pretty sure we're settled on kind of the central little box to reside in front of the Ziggurat here. And then we'll also grab ourselves a couple of little one-way tram roads to allow the tram system to flow. And then we'll come in and grab just some regular tram tracks and then bring them around the back of the Ziggurat, which again will frame it nicely. I guess we'll see. It does give us the option to have some path spice across here as well, if that's what we wanted to do. So many options today. Okay, and then I think we'll have, let's actually finish this road network first, that'll be handy. Let's bring this one down and then we'll hook it in there. Super. And then we'll grab that tram only road. Okay, so we'll carry on building our little tram lines here. And I think we'll split them into a one-way system at these junctions, which will give us some nice textures on the road as well. These little tram lines kind of cutting through here. And then that'll also allow us to kind of form a little bit of tram park spice right outside of the Ziggurat Garden here, which is very nearly centralised perfectly with the metro line, but I think we can live with that, right? I think we can. There's some trains flowing over here now as well. I also brought the tram line again across this junction, across a little bridge. Once the water calms down, we'll lose this slight kind of flooding vibes, and then we'll bring it through here as well, and then hook it into the rest of Palaven, of course. But let's actually work on kind of connecting the rest of the infrastructure around here, because of course we have a lot of cycle paths and roads around this point of town. And we also want to connect this little bridge here now as well, so let's bring it down, shall we? Let's come across to just the angle for right now. And how are we looking there? Bridges probably will. Yeah, there's some some slight clipping vibes, but it's nothing too serious. It's only the lights at the top. I think that we can deal with that. Okay. So let's now come to road length, and we'll grab our curve tool. And then I guess 5 will probably be a good increment here. And then come down by 5, and we'll drop by 2. And then we'll come out by 5 more. And then drop by 2 more. And then we can come under the metro line like this, which will provide a main road connection into this part of Canalaven. Super big fan of these bridges, man, with the walking path in the network here. It gets used as well, like people do use these paths. Super satisfying. Hello, metro. Some nice transport vibes coming into this part of town now. So we've got our road connections in now, and this will just allow people to actually get in here. We'll worry about connecting this one up. It's not quite level with this node. I need to bring the bridge down just a little bit further, just so we can get it to snap, but we will eventually hook that in. During the detour and time-lapse, of course. But we're starting to see now the kind of vibe that we're going after. Let's grab the rest of the Canalaven district, shall we, and paint it out over these. Don't worry about the abandonment, that's just lack of services. They will return here eventually. I'm pretty sure this is probably a Plop with Growables, isn't it? Oh no, it's just a little commercial one. That's fine. Okay. So let's work. I'm actually getting some trams flowing around this thing. And then we'll go ahead and grab ourselves a little Tram Depot. I guess we'd even flip this on its side, right? Have it up against the canal like this. Yeah, okay. I think I prefer that orientation. Or do I prefer it facing the other way? Like, do we want this bit to face the water? I think we will. I think we will. I think that's going to be kind of the ideal situation for everyone involved. Let's bring ourselves a tram road down this way. And then we're going to want it facing this side, right? So let's bring the tram roads up in a little box like this. We'll downgrade some of them as we don't need them. Okay, yeah, so we will fit here, and we've got, what's that? 7 tiles left. So let's go across there. And then we'll squeeze them in like that. Yes please, that is what we're after. And we'll come through with some classic grass roads. And then just allow these to flow into whatever pattern that they are going to flow around here. Of course we don't have keys in Canalaven. That's all kind of very raw and au naturel, if you like. So we'll continue that theme here as well. Get some little janky bits of terraforming here. If you do suffer from this when you're working close to keys, if you just draw it in small like that, you'll see it doesn't do it as bad. And as far as I'm aware, it's just the way that the unique vanilla terraforming mechanics handle handle the game. Okay, so we've got our little tram network now. Let's upgrade it in a couple of places. Let's go for right here. And then we can bring it in a little loop down to the waterfront. How far are we from the ferry stop here? We'll get some walking bridges over here, allow people to cross onto this tram system as well. And then flow it through here. Into the park, up to the Ziggurat Garden, and into all these eventual high density residentials, which we will work on right now, I guess. Right now. So I don't think I want to... I don't want to come from this angle, I don't think. I think we'll cut through the middle here. And then start to develop some little residential patterns. Also painted out the rest of the Canalaven zone here as well. And then let's start to zone in some of those high density residentials, shall we? We'll just see what develops. Don't use too much Plop the Growables today. But we'll see what kind of nice little green city patterns that we can come up with. draw some out here as well. And then I guess we need to fill this one in too. And I think what we'll do, where we've left this space in open against the roads, we're going to come through with a trusty old nature reserve with decorations. This asset works tremendously well with all the Green City stuff. It's the path that we've used everywhere else in Canalaven. So I want to draw it in from right to left because I want those lights on the outside of the path. So again as well, switch the orientation and then draw ourselves a little bit right to left. Okay. And then I think some farm fence maybe. A little bit of farm fence. Let's bring it in this side first. Well, actually, I think maybe we won't do the box here. We'll just do a single line. Let's just snap to the grid. And then just have just the smallest of little pathway spice here. And then very heavily landscaped kind of gardens and repeated tree patterns within this area. Since we're close to the Ziggurat Garden. We're getting some buildings in here now as well. I think I'm happy for a mix and match. I'm not bothered about going too uniform. We could take it super heavy like battery repeated, but I feel because we did that last episode over here that you guys would unsubscribe if like this was literally every episode now. We need to leave them alone for a little bit. But you know, you can, the rest of Canalaven's all like this, you know. It's very random. We need to take this skyscraper out today as well. But I'm hoping you can see that. Oh, hello, flooding. Welcome. Canalaven suffers for like severe floods every year. Those that are in the live stream, we kind of know what's happened here. And they don't even have enough water, of course they don't. Of all the things for them not to have. Okay, let's continue proper practice with our water pipe road network. Absolute inefficiency personified. However, it does look nice when you have this massive sprawl of pipes that follow your road network. Guaranteed to get a dislike for that one, but welcome to the channel, everyone. Appreciate you stopping by. Hope you're looking forward to Christmas and New Year, by the way. What a festive time it is at the minute. Okay. So how are we kind of looking from here now? Yeah. I think that's a bit of alright, isn't it? Grab ourselves a temporary power connection. Just so we don't get people abandoning. We should be okay. And let's get those trams flowing too, shall we? So we'll start in the middle. And then I guess we'll just stop behind. It's probably easier to stop symmetrically these sides, and then we'll come back and stop in the middle of the park. Bring it down, stop by some houses. Again here on the waterfront. And then just mirror yourself on the way back. And we'll grab these trams as they come out. And I think we'll set them into a lush little green colour, since we're working with green cities, right? I think it has to be green. Maybe like a lighter green. I don't know what type of green that is. It's not lime, is it? Kind of looks like a pastel. Maybe like a pastel green, perhaps. I'm sure someone in the comments will correct me on what that colour is. Okay, but Canalaven's extension is coming along nicely here now, I think. I think I'm happy with this. Let's now introduce some more houses into the already existing network here. If we are going to switch into tram network, there's no point having the cycle lanes this side of Canalaven anymore. So I think we'll just downgrade into grassy roads. Which is fine. And then again, we'll bring this through here. Just smaller increments if we're getting that nasty terraforming. Leaves us a little flat land. Oh, here come the flood trucks. Just in time, guys. Just in time. Okay, let's rework the bridge. because we're going to want to connect this one in as well. So we'll come to road length and angle for this. And we came by 5 last time, which aligned it up nicely, so we'll do that again this time. And then we want road guideline on. We'll drop down a little bit earlier, grab our road, and we can hook in, and we can also hook in here too. I think what we'll do is actually, because these junctions are a little close together, we'll turn this into a one-way. So you can only enter into Canalaven from this side. Okay, but we're starting to see some activity develop now, aren't we? This is what we're after. This is what we're after. And again, some more high density stuff around here. We could go repeated pattern again. Although we don't have the room to get these assets in, but we do have some lovely 1x2 spaces maybe. I wonder what we can squeeze in here. You know what, let's just do it. Let's get them in. Welcome to the channel, everyone. We are going to introduce probably up to here. Maybe there. One more. Just a little block with a 1x2 battery housing. I'm happy with that. How many people are walking? Yes, please. Use the pathways. Nice, aren't they? I don't know if many people have seen these before. But these bridges are fantastic little assets, for, especially with the Green Cities vibe as well. Works fantastically well. It really does. Really does. Get some people on the trams now too. Good. Good. And then we do have cycle network around here as well, so let's grab our cycle path and then let's bring it down a little further, and then we'll hook it into snap them for our grid. We'll go in for right there, and then what this will allow us to do is just come through again with some of that repeated tree pattern, a little bit like so. And I think we'll go for a fence here. Just a smaller one. Just so we end up with a little bit something like that. Okay. I think we're happy with that. And then again, we'll just allow some organic zoning to grow up in here. We should start to see a nice little layers of height building here already. See, with the batteries and then these guys and then here. I think we're on our way. I think we are. I think 100% want some commercial along this main street here. I'm quite happy for this to grow up as organically as it wants to. And maybe throw in the occasional tennis court as well. Maybe let's bring in some slightly different angled vibes and see what we can squeeze in here. Yeah, a little tennis court there maybe. And upgrade that into a fancier road. Fractures our zoning a little bit, but I'm really not bothered with the local and organic produce stuff. It works fine as it is. And then let's not forget, oh, we also have this cycle bridge here as well. It's very tall, isn't it? Okay, we need to bring that down. Probably over here. We'll use these smaller zoning tiles. I think that'll be okay. Let's do that. Let's come with the angle. And then we'll come up just a little bit. Get a nice smooth descent there. I think that's acceptable. And then that looks like a connection. I'm pretty sure it does. I'm pretty sure that'll work for both sides of the road. I guess we'll see. We'll see if anyone comes down it. But if it's not, I guess we can just actually bring in another little connection into it here. And then bring in our kind of cycle path, repeated tree pattern into this area too. There's a nice little bit of corner decoration in amongst this commercial, you know. I think that'll be okay. It's not too gnarly of a descent, is it? The quads will be screaming after that. Yeah, there we go. Someone's using it. Nice. Nice. Cool. Not sure. I'll have to wait a little further to finish this sort of Canalaven chunk. This will probably end up being green belt once we pop this tile over here. But I think this will be a sensible point to end this point of Canalaven. How are we doing here for zoning? Yeah, I guess I have a little 2x2 there. And a little piece here as well. This will also be a good point for another cycle highway connection. Let's bring it down from here. And again, that repeated tree pattern that we're using around the entrances to the cycle highway. What have we got in here? Has this kind of generated as we want? Yeah, I'm happy with them. Let's keep those in. Let's go for historical and historical. All these historical. And we need to bring this one in as well. Okay. But we are starting to cook, I feel now, with Canalaven. Canalaven Part 2 anyway. I feel like now I do want to connect these roads in at the base. We will get a little bit of janky tile in, but again, doesn't bother me with green cities. If we were in the downtown and this was happening, I would be furious, but we're alright when we're with green cities, I think. Okay, so remember, we'll draw in right to left again because I want my lights to be orientated on the same side. And we'll grab grid snapping with some farm fencing as well. Also, thank you to all the people that have joined the channel from the Epic Games release. You guys have been smashing the comments and the views recently. I'm not sure if you are aware, if you are not in the Discord, you're probably not, but you are inadvertently shoving me towards losing a bet I made months ago with subscriber Timo, who I promised to show an old Minecraft channel as the 25,000 subscriber special. So, if that sounds like a bit of you, then do think about subscribing to the channel. Appreciate everyone checking it out after the Epic Games release. I hope you're all enjoying it. It's a wonderful little game. How about this though? A little bit of green city spice with some nature reserve fencing, farm fencing, trees and some of these assets here. Very happy with that aesthetic there. Yeah, very happy with that. It's kind of hard to make this stuff look ugly, isn't it? It's just lushness personified the vast majority of the time. Okay, so let's bring those nature reserve fences down this side as well. We'll now begin to transition into that famous Canalaven green belt. That will just allow to flow around this area. And probably no need for it there. I wonder if we actually want to throw in maybe a touch of zoning. It's very narrow though, isn't it? I think it'll probably be green belt is what we want to look at here. Yeah, we don't want zoning all the way along here. Yeah, okay. It'll just be overgrown green belt stuff. Now bring this one into there. And then what kind of tree palette have we used in Canalaven? It's very Palaven pine heavy, isn't it? And some of the smaller ones too. Okay, yeah, pretty similar to what we use basically everywhere else. It never changes. Okay, so we'll of course go a little bit mad with the water, but things will stabilise. And then we'll start to flesh out this little shoreline here with some of the old faithful green belt pattern. Now a good little tip for your green belts is you start out with fewer of the larger trees. And then as you start to move down in sizes, you just increase your clicks a couple more each time with each size. And then before you know it, you'll just have a nice little varied fleshed out green belt that's got its own layers of height almost like integrated into it because you're using more of the smaller ones and less of the large ones. Let's maybe bring some rock stuff in here as well. And of course, some overgrowth maybe. I'm going to try to leave a lot of the detail in this episode, guys, because I know you enjoy it, and it is Christmas. So, we'll kind of see how we feel here. Yeah. I think we're happy with that, aren't we? I think everyone's enjoying this. At least I am. Apologies if you're not. Merry Christmas. But I think I'm enjoying that. At least this side of it anyway. Okay, very nice. We'll mooch through these and make them historical. I'm pretty sure I'm happy with that mix of assets. Maybe let one or two of them level up a touch further. So we get those different height in. How is the main street looking? Yeah, nice. This cycle highway is getting plenty of use now. Yes, please. Oh, Merry Christmas, everyone. Merry Christmas. Okay, let's work on this little central tram park, shall we? So I think we will have this central little tram plaza as a park area, at least in some places. Not entirely all the way through, but I'm pretty sure we're going to have this vast majority of it fenced off. Can we possibly bring our tram lines up a little further? Our little tram stops? Yes, we can. Okay, it makes it easier for me. Let's come in and grab ourselves a park fence, and we'll grab just a small park main gate for right now. If anybody wants to name the park within Canalaven, now is your chance, of course, and we'll try and do it over on the live streams when I actually remember to do things, because you guys shout at me for not doing them, which is fine. You should. Okay, and then park side gate over here. Just a couple, not all the way around. Because obviously people can walk on the tram lines to get into this park, so I'm not super bothered about it being airtight, so to speak. And let's bring our fences on the angle from each of the gates. We're going to be difficult here? Yes we are. Okay, it's fine. We'll hide it with some tree spice, of course. How will we look with a Palaven pine up against the metro? Is it going to like brush the lines? Are we okay? Let's wait for a train to come by. Yeah, okay, we're fine with the train. That's alright. That's okay. So let's come in and bring in our fences down. And do we want an asset here at the head, perhaps? Info booth, maybe? Okay. So we can centralise this pretty much perfectly. Like there. And I think we will continue that fence pattern right into the corners of this little kind of tram Y switch point. I guess, right? Make like a little... Do we want it boxed up either side? Or maybe come through with something different. For once, stop using fences everywhere. Okay, let's maybe go for some hedge spice, perhaps? Just to border this very obvious edge between the concrete and the grass. Nice to see the trams flowing through this area too. I think we're going to go for a touch of Imperator spice in this park as well. So for those of you that follow... Oh, everyone in the city is sad. Looks like they didn't agree with that. Perfectly timed words, right? So for those of you that follow Imperator, obviously another fantastic little Cities Skylines YouTuber. He's a big fan of running the pathways up alongside his tram stops, and I've got to say, it is kind of growing on me. And then once they're in, coming in with a little bit of zoo fence, and then just giving them their own little border as well, I have to say, it's a little bit of spice. Just to help decorate those tram stops out a little more, you know. So we'll repeat that pattern. Let's grab our fence again. What's the measurement here? 80. Can we hit 80? Yes, we can, just about. And then again with that fence. And we'll probably switch the angle up here. Let's come off the angle snap. And then bring it into the corners. Would help if I used the right fence and didn't delete my paths. Welcome to Palaven, everyone. You have just joined the channel. And I appreciate it. Okay, and then a little angle along here as well. And then similarly up here. Also. Okay, so this angle is a lot less harsh, isn't it? Need to fix that. But you get the general idea, right? Almost like boxes in the tram stop is like its own little mini build. I really like it. I think it's a good idea. I do enjoy it. Okay, and then let's grab ourselves some park assets, perhaps a climbing frame to sit alongside this path right here, and perhaps a little bit of gazebo spice to lie here. We'll grab ourselves a regular dirt vanilla path, and we are going to have to cut the recording there because the loudest truck in the world has just pulled up outside my house, so we will be right back. We'll have a little path here, and I think we'll just sweep through with a little tree ring around the gazebo. That's quite cute, isn't it? And maybe some more park assets. How about a trampoline park, maybe? A restroom. Maybe not next to the gazebo. Can't imagine that makes for great. Maybe actually, let's treat them as little ticket offices right outside our little tram stop here. Would help if I stopped deleting these paths. We'll come in there and then here. Have them kind of mirrored like that. Yeah. Okay. And then we'll grab that fence again. We should be able to come through here, I think. Angle isn't too tight. Yeah, there we go. Come through like that. And then we'll introduce a little bit of the Palaven tree palette into this area where we have these empty spaces around the trams. And let's not forget our final fence here either. I think as close as we can get it. Do we want to repeat it this side? No, we don't. Okay, what a nice little central park to focus in front of the Ziggurat Garden. I think it's coming together now, isn't it? I think we're almost starting to cook, I guess you could say. Spices are starting to fry off. And then I think we'll bring a nice little box up to here. And then this is just going to be parkland, I think. We'll get some walking tours around here. Some of the larger rock assets, and it's almost kind of like a little bit of old meets new, isn't it? With the ruins here in the Ziggurat Garden just behind. Yeah, get a little bit of a sunset vibe from here. Yes. There it is. There it is. Yeah. Okay, so with that in mind, let's throw ourselves in another park area here. Let's grab ourselves... Let's go for a small main gate. I'm not a huge fan of the large ones. And we'll cross over with a normal path. And then how are we going to look if we very suddenly switch into nature reserve path here? Is it going to look a little bit weird? Let's check out the transition. I actually don't mind that. I think that's alright. We'll come off with all our snapping. Let's grab ourselves freeform tool. And we'll just get some nice flowy paths curving around the ruins. So I think I'm happy for this little peninsula island here to just be like super overgrown and almost like preserved for these little castle ruins here. I think that'd be quite nice. In terms of this space that we've got going on, I think we're going to use this to get some service buildings in, some education of course as well. These guys will need it. And then we'll place that in, but rather than have it face that direction, we'll bring in just a little road behind it so we can flip the orientation. That should do quite nicely. Fantastic. And then we'll go with commercial within these blocks. We are still in the Canalaven area here, right? Yeah, we are. We'll still get organic and local produce. Fantastic. And then perhaps some smaller park assets maybe. Maybe get some back-to-back sports courts in here. And then we'll come through with our nature reserve path. Remember that we want to draw right to left. Gives us the lights on the same side that way. And then we've got a little bit of space here for a touch more commercial. Then perhaps one of the childcare centres here. Super. So just a little cluster of service buildings to help the population around here survive a little better. But we are on our way, I feel, for this area. Let's have a little discussion about what we want to appear here. Let's go into our park assets. Maybe get a dog park in. Tropical garden will probably be most appropriate asset, I feel. A bit something like that. Yeah. And then again, just to repeat our detailing patterns. We'll come through from the crossroads with a nature reserve path. So I think what we'll do with the kind of sides of the canal here is come through with farm fence during the detailing time lapse. Let's have a little sample look of what this is going to look like. So if we just follow it from corner to corner, got height too high. Okay, let's come from up against the road. Should be happy with this. Then we'll bring that on in. Well, on this side. And then what was it we used on the cycle path here? The sugar maples and conifers, wasn't it? Oh dear. You are not in Canalaven. Even though you should be. I'm not sure why you generated. Go away. And then let's grab those sugar maples. And then we can repeat this pattern. So I think I'll stick to like an increment of kind of every other post on the fence. We'll throw in a little sugar maple. Doesn't get too over the top then, I don't think. And then we can match this up exactly on the other side where the Ziggurat Garden is too. And then bring that on there. And how are we starting to look? If we look down this side now. Yeah, I think I'm fairly happy with that. Potential path crossing here as well. Let's have a little look at that, shall we? And then we can bring our farm fence on either side as well. I think we'll have a couple of these little fence crossings in as well, maybe. Let's centralise outside the Ziggurat Garden, so it's this line right here. And then if we come in about there, are we going to be okay? Yeah, okay, I'm happy with that. We're getting some just fantastic symmetry here, aren't we? Accidental symmetry is always appreciated, it really is. Some people in the park here as well now, which is nice. And some people using the little walkways to get across. It is coming together, isn't it? It really is. It really is. Okay guys, but that does feel like a good place to jump into a detailing time lapse. I'm going to bring our repeated tree pattern and farm fence pattern to the rest of the edge of the canals that are currently undecorated. Come through with some green belt stuff and fill in some of these places. And just other general little bits and pieces that this area needs to help it fit in. Straighten out this bridge as well, of course. And yeah, kind of bring a close to Canalaven, but from the bird's eye view. Such a nice use of this landscape, isn't it? Really kind of carving it up with all these canals. I'm a big fan of it. Really am. Otherwise, let's go ahead and detail up, shall we? And I'll speak to you in a moment. Okay guys, that is going to do it for today. I want to thank you all so much for watching. If you've enjoyed the video, a like below is always appreciated. If you haven't enjoyed it, please feel free to leave a dislike as well. A quick thank you for all the support on the channel this year. It has been mind-blowing. Pretty sure we started the year out at 400 subscribers and we're now edging ever closer to that 25k. But yeah, just mind-blowing. Thank you so much. I'm really excited for what's going to happen next year, and yeah, just super happy and buzzing and loving it. Thank you so much for all the support. You really do mean the world to me. I'm glad that you've enjoyed all the content on the channel. In other news, like this build. Really cute way of rounding out Canalaven, and we will of course return in future live streams to tweak and add assets in as we please, and just help refine the area a little bit more. But I hope you all enjoyed the build. It's certainly a unique style, and it's got lots going on, so make sure to hang around for the rest of the outro tag and check out this place at night time. I'm sure it will look tremendously spicy. But otherwise, I will shut up and I will leave it there. I want to thank you all so much for watching, and as always, enjoy the rest of your day.